Yeah, big breaking news this lunchtime involving Newcastle. James Savundra rejoins us. We were lamenting Newcastle and their lack of business. What can you tell us about what they're up to at the moment?
They're looking to sign a goalkeeper in this transfer window, and they are in talks with Southampton around a move for Aaron Ramsdale. He's a player they looked to sign last summer. He was at Arsenal, but they couldn't agree upon a fee. He went to Southampton in the end and signed a 4-year contract at Southampton. Clearly, they didn't have the best season last year in the Premier League. They're now preparing for life in the Championship under Will Steele this season. Ramsdale has got some history with Eddie Howe. They worked together at Bournemouth. And Newcastle have been looking for a goalkeeper in this window because James Trafford is a player they agreed a fee with Burnley for last week. But Manchester City had a matching clause in the contract, which they've triggered. So James Trafford is having a medical at Manchester City today, which means that he's not signing for Newcastle. Newcastle's still on the lookout for a goalkeeper. He only signed a 4-year contract at Southampton last season, but clearly he'll have aspirations, you'd think, to play in the Premier League once again. I was at the Southampton training ground a couple of weeks ago. I spoke to Will Steele, head of the new season, and there's, I think, a reluctant acceptance that some of the big players may depart this summer. That's just life as you get relegated from the Premier League to the Championship. There is potential need for outgoing, so I don't think it would be a huge surprise if Aaron Ramsdale was to depart, but it's a significant fee that Southampton paid Arsenal last summer to sign him. So it does look like this could potentially accelerate. It looks like Eddie Howe really wants a goalkeeper to compete with Nick Pope and Martin Dubravka. There's a number of senior goalkeepers there right now, but Newcastle in talks with Southampton over a move for Aaron Ramsdale. Yeah,
it seems to make sense from all parties, doesn't it? Newcastle need keeping options, and from a Ramsdale's perspective, as you say, he'd want to be playing in the top flight. He still will have England aspirations, and the best way to impress Thomas Tuchel is by doing it in the Premier League.
Exactly that. And you look at what he did last season for Southampton, I think he felt helpless at times. It was a desperate season for Southampton. It's not what Aaron Ramsdale or anybody at Southampton would have hoped for. And when you look at the World Cup coming up in 12 months' time, if he has a good season for Newcastle, starting for Newcastle, then there's a great opportunity he has to be on the plane. It's going to be very difficult to displace Jordan Pickford when you consider what he's done over the course of the last few years. But I think what is fascinating is what we're seeing developing in this transfer window when it comes to goalkeepers. There is potentially a bit of a merry-go-round happening right now. Let's look at the James Trafford situation. He's departing Burnley, so Burnley are looking for a goalkeeper. Manchester City will now have Ederson, James Trafford and Stefan Ortega. And now Burnley have tentative interest in signing Stefan Ortega from Manchester City. It looks like he's going to depart. Who's going to be the number one at Manchester City next season? Will it be James Trafford or will it be Ederson? Burnley want a goalkeeper now as well because James Trafford, who kept 27 clean sheets in the Championship last season, he's departing. They've been looking at potential deals for Newcastle's Nick Pope and Martin Dubravka. So if Aaron Ramsdale does join Newcastle, will Newcastle let a goalkeeper go? Could a Newcastle goalkeeper go to Burnley to fill the void at Burnley? Burnley have already signed a goalkeeper this summer, Max Weiss. He's a Germany under-20 international, just 21 years of age. £4.2 million they paid to sign him. He's impressed in pre-season, but will Burnley feel like he's ready to be their number one in the Premier League at the start of this campaign? It's fast approaching now, 2.5 weeks to go. But it is absolutely fascinating what's occurring now in the goalkeeper market with not long to go until the start of the new campaign. James Trafford in at Manchester City, it looks like. Will Aaron Ramsdale be heading up to Newcastle?
The old transfer merry-go-round. We see it with strikers, don't we? It's nice to see it with goalkeepers. James, thank you very much.